What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 14th day of October. Here we are at about $4,000 with 8 hours and 16 minutes left in the day. You're down a little bit, down about 5.4%, and that's okay. You know, I was looking at this low right here and just thinking in my head, not this low, no, this low over here. Thinking in my head, how many people here, we're all thinking, man, I wish I bought down there. And we literally had that exact opportunity today. You literally went right to that zone and bought and bounced right at prior support, right at prior resistance. Again, I'll put this line on here and just show you where this low was, right at prior support, right at prior resistance there. Areas of significance going back in time even, right? Something to find support off of. I wouldn't be surprised if today came up and closed with a very neutral look, most of it being a wick, maybe red, maybe we close red still, but like this day here where most of it's a wick and we close with a small body. We could even close today green. As crazy as that sounds, we could definitely close today green. But I want to look at the short-term stuff. We want to give some forecasts here, some accurate forecasts, hopefully. I know that we're dealing with the aftermath of the 10th day of October here. It's very possible that we do go lower than even what today's price is provided. We still could go back down below like $3,800 or down around there. But we'll see. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and go. I'm not anticipating that. I'm just saying we're dealing with this aftermath. Crazy things can happen. I want to look at the liquidations, actually. I want to look at these leverage positions here on Ethereum over the past 24 hours. Let's see, what do we got? Dramatically more shorts than longs, yes. A good bit of longs, though, 1.5 billion in longs. That's about the same as what we have on Bitcoin, honestly, in the past 24 hours. 2.8 in shorts. That's a lot of shorts for Ethereum, you guys, in a 24-hour period there. We look at the 30-day period. Longs are decimated. Shorts are alive and well. Obviously, it's obvious that this is not the end of the bull market and that we have so much more to go, you guys. Absolutely, we do. We look at Ethereum here, pointed upwards, shifting upwards. I think that it will. If we're looking at this from a relative low here to a relative high there, bounced off the golden ratio, you're at the 382. Not bad. $4,035. You could expect to find resistance here. Typically, whenever you do find a significant area of support at the golden ratio and you move up to the 382, typically you do come back down. But if we break above that, we likely would continue to $4,100 and maybe even beyond. You break above $4,130, the 236, the red line here, $4,130, $4,133. We break above that, we are clear to break above this high here, and we likely will see prices that are back at like 4,400, 4,600, something in that zone there. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that happened. It's actually very bullish, and I want to be clear that I'm not the only person, you're not the only person who has these tools at their disposal, right? Plenty of people can draw from this low to this high and see that we just missed the golden ratio. Why not draw from that low? Well, because if you're a sophisticated trader, you might not take the scam wick, you might take the actual wick, right? It's almost as if you treat price action like this as if it didn't exist, and this is your real price action, right? Everything outside of that's fake. So in which case, I would say you bounced right off the golden ratio. You couldn't even actually touch it, so that's front running. There's some bullishness there. We're getting above the 382 now. I'm very convinced that we're on our way to prices above $4,300, you guys. We're going to go above $4,300. That's my expectation. Looking at the 1 hour indicators here, the RSI, the RSI is a bit bearish in all fairness, right? Again, lower lows, lower highs. We're actually at a point where you might expect to find some turbulence right here, right at the 50. You could find turbulence here. It's very possible. Stochastics look bullish, look like they want. I think like this move is just getting started. The MACD hasn't even crossed green yet. I mean, I think we're going to move up higher, guys. I think we're getting set up for a higher high, yes. 4 hour time frame here, looking at this here. Bullish engulfing candle, 12 minutes left, beautiful, right? Bouncing right off of the 40, beautiful. Stochastics look like they want to cross up. The MACD, if we continue to push higher, we get above this high, we are going to cross above the zero. All good things. What happened the last time we crossed above the zero? We were at about this price, but we were at $4,100. We went all the way up to, what price is that up there? All the way up to 4,700. The last time we crossed above the MACD at the zero, we went from roughly these same areas to $4,700. Right. We look good. We look good right here, you guys. We actually look really good. You're not ready. The bears, the people who were very loud this morning saying that the market's going to dump. Let's see, hold on. Oh, hey, there you go. The hope. We could take the air out of quantum nuke crypto and put that money into real. There we go. Jim Cramer said it an hour ago. That's why we're pumping it, guys. Thank you, Jim. Right? Look, see, everybody's bearish. Everybody came out at the lows today. Everybody came out and they were very, very bearish. Okay? At the lows. When Bitcoin was at its low point, that's whenever everybody was super loud here. Right? You're not going to see any posts in the next couple of hours that are bearish. They're going to shut up because the market's going to move higher, and Ethereum's probably going to see a higher high as well. 4-hour time frame here. Again, all these indicators look great. If we're looking at the daily time frame, the RSI is a bit neutral. Yes, it's neutral because you're getting overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold. I suppose it's more bearish than bullish, but overall it's actually more bullish than bearish. Why? Why is it more bullish than bearish, C-Zar? How can you say that? Because if we draw a line right here at the 50, really, for like the past few months, you've been living above the 50. You spent very minimal amounts of time below the 50. Do you see that? We're below the 50 now. Minimal amounts of time below the 50 makes me think that we're going to move up higher. That's my expectation right now. You bounce right off the oversold zone. You have lower lows. Bullish divergence bouncing right off the oversold zone. I want to find another example of this exact situation where you have higher lows in the RSI. You bounce right off the oversold zone specifically with your higher low, okay? And you have lower lows in the price. It's bullish divergence, and it's a very prime setup. Let's see if we can find an example of this, okay, where this might have happened before. Well, this is not a good example. And I guess you didn't really bounce right off it, so maybe we don't have to use that example then. Good, because it's not a good example. We did move up, but inevitably you moved down lower. We were in the bear market. It doesn't really count, right? Let's see. It's not an uncommon setup, but it's not something that's just given to you. It doesn't happen often, right? Like I'm back in 2023 now, and I haven't found a setup like this still. Kind of, but it's not the same. This is like an overall range. It's not the same. Wow, Ethereum, it really doesn't happen often, man. I'm telling you. Okay, right here. Here's a good one, right? Lower low, bounce right off the oversold zone, right there, right? Lower low. You actually, damn it, you had a higher low. Damn it. It's so close. It's so close. But you had a nice move up. That's all I'm trying to say. You actually went back up to like the top area of where this drop was right here, the kind of top area of this range. Going back now, that was a waste of time. Going back to where we are here, might we go back to the top of this range, or might we go back even to like up at this area, $4,600, $4,700? I think that we can. I think that we will. I am anticipating that Bitcoin will be range bound. It'll be range bound in this area. I'm anticipating that. Maybe we actually come up a little bit. We see 118K here on this next move. But I'm anticipating that Ethereum and the rest of crypto, altcoins might come alive. A lot of people are anticipating that altcoins are dead now, that this recent drop was the death of altcoins, that this is just the mass migration to BTC, and this is my third bull market. Every time something like that happens, it's actually the time that Altseason comes alive. So that was kind of the last real signal that Altseason's here, is that people now think it's a smart idea to flock from altcoins to Bitcoin. But likely, with this, we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance drop. Ethereum's going to continue to rally. I very much feel confident it is. I'm actually curious, what does ETH BTC look like? Ethereum, Binance, let's look. Let's see here. ETH BTC. It's in a downtrend, that's for damn sure. You ate it up quick, though. I don't know, man. Look at that. You kind of look like a very deep inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Like here's your left shoulder, here's your head, and then here's your right shoulder. They're very symmetrical. It's a weird, I don't think it is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. That's too big of a head. But you found support right where you found support before, back over here. It's crazy. You're going to move up higher. You're absolutely in the midst of moving up higher. I think that you have a bull flag going on here. And let's just see, from a low to a high, where did you find support? Just above your 382. It was weird. You know, really, I'd say you're finding support, your 236. You're going to continue to move up higher. I think ETH BTC is just getting started, and it's going to continue to rally. That's all I'm saying here. I mean, the weekly indicators look great. The stochastics don't look great if we're being fair, but everything else does look great. The MACD and the RSI looks great. The stochastics look good. The RSI is turning. You guys, we can see. I hate that my voice keeps cracking. We can see that the RSI, it went from this like downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, we're kind of turning into a sideways trend here. And typically whenever you do that, you actually do turn into an upwards trend as well. So maybe we're boring momentarily. Maybe we are range bound to some degree over the coming days and week, but soon enough and by the end of this month, we should be moving up higher. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of the month of October, Ethereum was above $5,000. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I genuinely wouldn't. Certainly in November. Certainly we'll be seeing new all-time highs in November. But I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we saw new all-time highs or $5,000 and beyond in this month of October. Very bullish signal here on the RSI. Stochastics look like they want to come up. The MACD, it's kind of neutral, but whatever. So is the price. It doesn't really matter. As we look at this on a weekly time frame, we zoom out. The RSI is actually at a prime area to bounce, right in this zone here. We found support literally right in this area before. We found support in this zone before, though it didn't last. We found resistance in this zone, support in this zone, support back here, support right there and there. Let's just put lines right here. You can see that these lows here, right here, where you found some support-ish, resistance-ish in that area there. We go all the way back to where we are now. If this week comes up and closes green, if by the end of this week we actually close green, which we're only down 2%, we have 5 days, 8 hours left in this week here. I know it says 9, but it's more like 8 hours. If we close this week green, we're going to be bouncing right off of this line. And you guys, overall, I think we look really positive here. I would like it if this week closed green, if we came up enough to where the MACD did not cross red. I don't want to see a false cross here. I don't want to see any kind of cross red. I want us to hold green. That would be a good goal to have, and I think that we'll see that. As we move higher, as we progress higher and get away from this range, the next target areas correspond as such. We'll see a $5,500 price rather immediately, $6,500 price next, and ultimately moving up to an $8,000 price. This should be, $8,000 should be where Ethereum tops off next, where it finds its next kind of consolidation phase like this or like this. That should be its next area, point of interest, I would think sometime in November, probably middle or late November. That's the expectation. I don't really have anything else that I want to talk about. I do believe that Ethereum is not done growing. I do believe that we'll see an $8,000 Ethereum by the end of November. We'll probably see a $10,000 Ethereum by the end of the year. And going into the end of this cycle, a $15,000 plus Ethereum is on its way. Do not get shaken out here. Do not be part of the crowd. The herd is going to get slaughtered. They always do. Before this drop, we had mass longs, right? Before this drop here, we were max longs. We had longs that were up. I think we had like more than $10 billion in longs. Now we have nearly $10 billion in shorts. And we're not even that far down, guys. We didn't even drop that much. This wasn't even that big of a deal. People are comparing this to the COVID crash. Look at this. People are comparing this to the COVID crash. Look at what we did, right? Look at this, right? This was earlier this cycle. Let's just see here real quick. From the high to the low of this week, that was 26%. From the high to the low of this week here, that was 26%. Does anybody remember the 3rd of February? I do. It was a fart in the wind. Who cares? From a high to a low here, this was 22%. Does anybody remember the 19th of August? I don't. Right? Like this is nothing. Even the end of our bear market was worse than this. The COVID crash was ridiculous. It's 56%. Stop it. Stop it, you guys. Everyone comparing this to the COVID crash or to any kind of black swan event, stop it. It was a liquidation grab. It was a liquidity grab. They cleared out your long positions. That's all it was. It wasn't some hint at market weakness. They cleared you out. Why? Why would they want to clear you out? For one, they make money clearing you out. For two, whenever the price goes up, they don't have to pay you now. That's because you're cleared out. That's all it is. It's that simple. It's good business and it's not good for us, unfortunately. Or I should say for leverage traders. I wasn't a part of this unfortunate circumstance, right? Hopefully anybody who was, hopefully you have some funds and you can come back. I think anybody and everybody who lost money leverage trading recently, as long as you have something, you can make a comeback by the end of the cycle. All you have to do is put your money in any coin in the top 200, park it there, let it sit there, and just wait. Wait like 6 months. We got a lot of growth to go. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm rambling at this point. Take care. Bye-bye.